People often ask, can I get a mortgage for a fixer-upper? And the answer is on this video. So join me, here we go. I'm Paul Maguire, and I'm going to talk to you about where I get my mortgages for fixer-uppers and if you can get one, and also some of the government programs that will give you a lot of the money not only to buy the property, but to also fix up the property. So let's dive right in. Having done over 100 renovations like this house I'm sitting in right now that I renovated, your ability to get money is critical to your ability to invest in real estate. So when you ask the question, can I get money for fixer-uppers? The answer is you absolutely can get money for fixer-uppers if you have the right scenarios. Okay, so let's talk about getting money in general. First of all, can you get money? The answer is if you can't get money today, you pretty much can't get money at any other time because there's so much money floating around for real estate. And real estate is the one asset class, better than Bitcoin, stocks, gold, or anything else, that all the banks like to lend on. Why? Because it's the most secure and it has monthly cash flow. The same reason that people buy real estate and apartments for monthly cash flow is the same reason that banks like to invest in them for monthly cash flow. And as an investor, when you're looking for money to fix up property, you're usually trying to get started if you're asking this question. So there's three things that you really need, right? Number one is you need to have some proof of income of how you're going to repay the loan. You can use that by bank statements or tax returns, your job, W-2, or your business. They're going to want to look at that, your lender, and see your ability to repay. Number two is, does the property produce income? That's another aspect that the lender will want to look at. Number three is your credit. Whether you have good credit or bad credit, there's loans available. It just depends on what you're going to pay for the loan. So obviously, if let's use a car for example, somebody who has perfect credit may be able to get a lease or have a low payment. Somebody with so-so credit may or may not be able to get a lease and will have a higher payment. Somebody with poor credit may be able to get a loan but would have to put more down and would have a higher payment, higher interest rate. It's the same with lending on fixer-uppers. Depending on the property and the condition of it, depending on what it needs, where it is, and your experience is going to depend on your cost of money and what you're going to pay for the money. It's also going to give you an idea of how much of the purchase price they will give you. There's loans available to get 100% of the purchase price, and there's loans available to get 50% of the purchase price. So how much money you get in order to fix a property and renovate a property is going to depend on the property. It's going to depend on you and those things we talked about, your ability to repay, your credit, and your experience. Three major things that they're looking for. So where do you get the money for a fixer-upper? There is a list of lenders. I recommend that you go to a local lender wherever the property is and find them off the internet. Go ahead and search private money lenders, okay? Private money lenders in Phoenix, Arizona. And you will get a list of people who advertise who lend money. Lenders don't make money without lending. All right, I borrow money all the time, okay? So I'm about to do a $6 million loan this week. That loan, for example, was not for a fixer-upper, but the loan I did 3 weeks ago was for a house I bought that was beat up, old, and that was a fixer-upper. So the loan for the $6 million is a private money loan to get into a property with less money down. So I'm using higher leverage or more money so I don't need as much cash to get control of the asset. And then I will manage the asset and improve its cash flow to be able to refi to a lower rate later. On a fixer-upper, I may pay a higher rate, 7, 8, 9% interest. And then from there, I will go ahead and renovate the property like I did this property I'm sitting in. And then I will either go ahead and sell it or I can refinance it and rent it to market rate, lower rates, right? So I had to pay more for this property because of the condition, and I got a lower cost in terms of my down payment. This house, they gave me 90% of the purchase price, and then most of the money to fix it up, about 75% of the cost to fix it up. So see, there's different products, right? So depending on what your needs are and where your property is in your scenario, will depend on what property you get. This is why I recommend you work with banks and mortgage brokers and talk to them on a regular basis, in the same way that you might get quotes from a contractor to redo a house or to redo a kitchen or to redo windows in your home, you can also get quotes from different lenders, and you're going to find they can be very different, okay? Now, after you subscribe, I'm going to talk to you about a government program where you get most of the money to fix your property up and have a real low rate or market rate. So join me on that, but don't forget to subscribe, because here I am, free information. I've been doing this for years, made millions of dollars in real estate. I do it every day. I'm a real estate investor. So make sure you subscribe. The next program we're going to talk about is FHA. So one of the ways to get loans for fixer-uppers is the Federal Housing Authority, or FHA. And what you'll find on their website as well is loans that are available for fixer-uppers that are designed for what you're asking for. So if you want to get a loan to fix up a property or a distressed property, those loans are made that. The reason the government does that is the government wants housing to be provided. The government doesn't have enough money to provide it all. They use private industry to provide it. That's why they have Section 8 housing or payment coupons for people to pay their rent. The reason they do that is because they know private industry can provide a lot more housing for millions of people than the government can, okay? So they have loans to encourage people to fix up property and to have more housing stock available. So if a property's beat up, they want to see it fixed up. They want somebody to live there, whether it's you or a tenant. I'm Paul Maguire. Don't forget to join me on the next video where I talk about how to use debt to acquire assets. So I'll see you there.